Peace to everybody. This is about Michael Jackson's former bodyguard lists why molestation claims are false. A bodyguard who worked for Michael Jackson for the final 10 years of his life, named Matt Fadias, has decided to speak out on the child abuse accusations leveled at his former employer. Wade Robson and James Safechuck both alleged in HBO's Leaving Neverland documentary that Jackson molested them as children. Many people who had personal ties to the late King of Pop have expressed their strong convictions that he would never have done such things. Fadias is the latest person to come to Michael Jackson's defense. So Michael Jackson's former bodyguard, is named Matt Fadias. He has spoke out on the child abuse accusation leveled at his former employer. Of course, Wade Robson and James Safechuck are both liars, as you can see. They both alleged in HBO's Leaving Neverland documentary that Jackson molested them as children, and that's not true at all, because Michael Jackson never, ever did anything like that. Wade Robson and James Safechuck, they might have been allegedly been molested by somebody else, and they put it on Michael Jackson, saying, oh, he did this and did that, but it's not true. And of course, many people who had personal ties to the late King of Pop have expressed their strong convictions that he would never have done such things. So everybody who is defending Michael Jackson, he has never done anything to Wade Robson and James Safechuck ever. And right now, Fadias is the latest person to come to Michael Jackson's defense. In an interview with Metro.co.uk, Fadias listed several reasons for why he believes it is impossible that Jackson is guilty. Fadias explains that he has a deep understanding of Jackson's character by pointing out that he became friends first with the artist before taking on the bodyguard position. We knew the guy, we knew him so well. He spent time with my children. He's not the man he's portrayed as by James and Wade. Fadias argues that the public perception of Jackson was severely skewed. Unless you knew him, you had no idea the kind of person he was. So Michael Jackson did spend time with his former bodyguard's children, and Matt Fadias has told the truth so many times, and he said there was nothing going on with Michael Jackson and his children. So because you had to become friends first. So this is the explanation that he had for about Michael Jackson. And of course, Fadias explains that he has a deep understanding of Jackson's character by pointing out that he became friends first with the artist before taking on the bodyguard position. So he knew the guy, so did his children. We knew him so well, he spent time with my children. He's not the man he's portrayed by James and Wade. So as you know, Wade Robson and James Safechuck are just really compulsive liars. This is why people are defending Michael Jackson, because of what Wade Robson and James Safechuck has said. Oh, well, these didn't. No. Never happened. Fadias cites Jackson's romantic and sexual relationship with women as evidence that he would have no interest in young boys. This whole pedophile thing is complete nonsense, he said. And I agree with Fadias. He said it is a complete nonsense. I agree that it's nonsense. You do not go around accusing somebody, oh, well, that person did this and that. No, no, no. The guy had girlfriends and had a legitimate marriage to Lisa Marie Presley. That was the way he lived his life. We were the people sneaking the girls into his room. However, it goes without saying that being involved with women does not inherently preclude the possibility of being a child molester. So Michael Jackson had girlfriends all his life. Phidias also said that the marriage to Lisa Marie Presley, that was legitimate. That was the way he lived his life. We were the people sneaking the girls into his room. So Michael Jackson had a lot of girlfriends. He had no interest in young boys because that is totally ridiculous. Phidias' insistence on Jackson's innocence also stems from the fact that he was hardly ever at the Neverland Ranch, where the incidents of assault were alleged to have taken place. They say there were boys around. That was not the case at all, Phidias explained. He made Neverland how it was so he could have it for the Make-A-Wish Foundation, something he could give back on. He had a running joke. He was never there. He had to be in Los Angeles to conduct business. It's all 4 hours drive from the mountains and he hated the drive. So he was very rarely there. He was there to make public appearances. He was much more comfortable at the Beverly Wiltshire in a suite. So Michael Jackson was hardly ever at the Neverland Ranch. He was always gone, always taken off somewhere. He also Phidias explained he made Neverland how it was so he could have it for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So Michael Jackson was going to give back by helping out the Make-A-Wish Foundation, something he could give back on. We had a running joke. He was never there. He had to be in Los Angeles to conduct business. So, I mean, this is something Michael Jackson had done. He was doing charities. That's what he was doing. He wasn't at the Neverland Ranch half the time. And of course, you always gotta work on the music. Phidias' insistence on Jackson's innocence also stems from the fact that he was hardly ever at the Neverland Ranch, where the incidents of assault were alleged to have taken place. So, Wade Robson and James Safechuck, they both need to go sit down somewhere, think about what they said, but then again, you know what? They both need to be locked up, literally. Finally, Phidias asserts his position by claiming Jackson would never have had the time or privacy to commit these acts. If he was doing what he was doing to young kids, he would never get any work done. He was already recording, performing, and rehearsing for him. To be messing around with young kids would be impossible because of the security that was in place. It's impossible. And I agree with Phidias. He asserts his position by claiming Jackson would never have had the time or privacy to commit these acts. And Michael Jackson never had privacy. There's always security around him. Um, of course, Michael Jackson was already recording, performing, and rehearsing. So how can he have time to allegedly sexually molest Wade Robson and James Safechuck? How is that even possible? Michael Jackson did no such thing, and the evidence is right here. He was already recording, performing, and rehearsing. That was all he was doing. Michael Jackson didn't have time for nothing else. Michael Jackson is innocent. this whole time, and yet people are belittling him, saying, oh, he did this, did that. No, he never did no such thing like that. That's why they lied on him. Seriously, somebody do need to call out Wade Robson and James Safechuck to stop all this mess and make them tell the truth that Michael Jackson never did such thing. Leave your comments below. I am out.